discrepancy in height. Now, Curtis Blaydes came in south of 250 for his last fight, 261 pounds here tonight. We'll see if that has any impact. Now, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell Jr., Executive Director Bob Bennett. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Eric Cohen, Sal D'Amato, and Chris Lee. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 31 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 261 pounds. Fighting out of Moscow, Russia, presenting the number 7 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Alexander Drago Volkov. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 13 wins, 2 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 247 pounds. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, presenting the number 3 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Curtis Razor Blaydes.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. You gotta keep it clean, touch gloves, let's do it.
So Elevation Fight Team trying to get the bookend wins tonight. Austin Hubbard began the evening with a huge win over Max Roshkoff, and now Curtis Blaydes will try to cash here as a -400 favorite.
Ready, fight!
All right, tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of UFC. Curtis Blaydes is in black, Volkov is in white. Early single leg for Blaydes, and he dumps Volkov. So if you had under 10 seconds for the first takedown, go cash your ticket.
This was my big concern for Volkov, because I mentioned the fight with Verdun before, and Verdun, whilst being a terrific grappler, isn't necessarily the best takedown artist, and he got Volkov down time and time again.
Stand up and face us.
Well, look at this, nice work.
Oh, I love how he hooked that ankle, and that's what stopped Volkov from being able to use the fence. Is Blaydes got right in between him and the fence. He'll hook that right leg of Volkov and get between him and the fence. But this is what I was talking about. Look at all the energy that Volkov's going to use carrying the weight of Blaydes here as he works his way up.
You know, for Volkov, though, being 6'7", being a former professional kickboxer, he said, this is every time I fight. Everybody always wants to take me down. So, you know, he's prepared for this. He's been here before. He knows what to do. But that said, there is levels to the game. And I would say Curtis is by far the best wrestler that he's faced so far.
Blaydes came in with a division high historically, 45 takedowns. Already 2 can be added to that total here, about a minute gone by.
Yeah, and you see how he's over the top of the head of Volkov. It makes Volkov not be able to get his hips underneath him. His head's still lower than his hips, and that really carries a lot of weight. It makes you very tired when your head is low like that and Blaydes is higher than him.
Yeah, Volkov is just being nice and patient now. You see him here, okay, he's eating those knees to the butt. They're not nice, they do hurt. But he's just like, okay, I'll ride out this position. I'll wait for you to let go of your grip. Because that's what he's got to do. You notice a second ago, Volkov tried to stand up in this position here. Then he went back down to a knee because he was worried about going for a ride, about being thrown in the air. At least in this position here, it's not a 50-50, but they're kind of in a stalemate.
Well, Blaydes definitely has the hand control. And I wouldn't say it's a stalemate. I'd say Volkov's getting dominated.
Well,
right
it wasn't a second ago, mate. It was definitely a stalemate.
I disagree completely, but that's okay. And right now we got Blaydes with double underhooks as Volkov tries to work his way to the feet. And right now it's pure heavy weight over the top of Volkov's head. I mean, this is not where Volkov wants to be in any shape or form.
No, far from it, but you can't freak out. You've got to take your time and be composed. You know, the fact of the matter is he is in this position, so you've just got to, like, you know, you've got to be strategic. You can't freak out. You can't spaz out. You've just got to see what Curtis is going to give him, because right now he's on top. He's got a grip, and he's kneeing his backside repeatedly, and those do hurt.
I'd like to see Volkov get the hand control back. He needs to get his right hand. He can dig his left hand in between the hands of Blaydes and be able to pop that wrist out. He's got to get his hand back if he's going to get out of this position. Then after he gets his hand back, I'd like to see him move that left elbow in between him and Blaydes and scrape Blaydes off on the fence. But the first step is hand control. He's got to get that. Volkov has to get his right hand back, or else he's not getting out of here. And he's just holding on to Blaydes' hand there, so Blaydes can't better his position, but Volkov's also stuck here.
Most takedowns Volkov has previously surrendered in the UFC 3 against Fabricio Verdum. That was back in 2018. Already 4 for Curtis Blaydes here through 3.5 minutes.
Straight on the face and just carrying all the weight. I mean, this is like high school wrestling 101. You get the body control, you get hand control, you hang over the top, and you just ride people. How many times have we seen Cain Velasquez in the early days do this to guys, punching them, wailing on them, and then when they get up, he hits them with punches again. You know, Blaydes doesn't even let go of anybody. He just stays on top of you, grinds, and rides you out position-wise. I mean, there's nothing Volkov's doing here to get out of this other than just waiting and hoping Blaydes makes a mistake.
Well, he's waiting for Blaydes to separate his grip. That's what he's waiting for. And then when he separates his grip, he can make his move. But until he does that, there's not much else he can do.
The issue is losing the hand control war here with Curtis Blaydes, so you can't get up unless you win the hand control. It's hand control, then you stand to your feet, and Blaydes is winning the hand control.
He's trying to get the Kimura here. He's getting the Kimura grip, of course. There's no submission threat, per se.
Total strikes, no surprise to see them piling up for Curtis Blaydes here. Herb Dean monitoring the action closely, but Blaydes staying busy.
There you go. Now Volkov has his hands back. Now he's got to keep his balance, try to stay up on his feet, and he can't because Blaydes always attacks the balance. If he's not attacking the hand control, he's attacking your balance. And this is what you also see Khabib Nurmagomedov do so well. He hangs in this position, controls the hands. When you try to stand up, he breaks your balance, gets the body lock again, and keeps dragging you down, and that's what we're seeing Blaydes do here.
All Curtis Blaydes in round 1. Round 2 begins on the feet. It's yours next.
Oh, I'm sorry. Спокойно, дышим. Капу достаем.
Keep calm.
Опа, водички
Breathe.
попей. Очень близко к себе опустил. Держи дистанцию, дыши. Вдох,
Keep distance.
выдох.
Breathe.
Вдох, выдох. Спокойно. Вдох, выдох. Он сейчас будет делать все то же самое. Чуть-чуть дольше дистанцию и
He's
дергай.
gonna try doing the same thing. You just
Спокойно, дыши. Вдох,
just
выдох.
keep,
Грудь распрями.
just keep calm.
Вдох, выдох. Вдох, выдох. Возможно, сейчас дернет и будет бить. Да, там обманку будет делать, но наверняка будет делать то же самое. Держи дистанцию. И сам
Keep
работай.
distance.
Kenny Johnson, bolt wrestling among those in the corner of Alexander Volkov. And you see Cody Donovan, who maybe doesn't get the credit he deserves as a chief corner. Did a great job, of course, with Austin Hubbard tonight. And he has been by Curtis Blaydes' side really for the last half a decade there in Colorado. Nice land by Blaydes early round 2.
I knew this is what Blaydes was going to do. He's got to be careful. Because now Volkov, all his attention is to stopping the takedown. And then this is when Curtis does his best work with the hands.
Volkov's best punch is his right uppercut. And that's what Blaydes got to watch out for. But Blaydes' best punch is that right hand.
And Blaydes didn't seem too concerned with the Volkov power, having been in there with guys like Alistair Overeem, Mark Hunt, and one Francis Ngannou.
Hey, when you've been hit by Ngannou, you're not bothered about anybody's power.
Oh!
Oh, there it was.
You could see how powerful Blaydes is when he lands those punches. Incredible. And that shot plowed right through, kept running his feet, and now we're right back in round one again.
Too good, too good. And now if you're Volkov, you're battling frustration, I would imagine, in some part.
He's got to get to a hip, staying square on your butt like this. It allows Blaydes to stay very strong. You'll see Blaydes get behind him again. At least he got the whizzer. That's the overhook with that left arm Volkov got. But now you're seeing Blaydes control the hands again on that far side up against the fence, and that's the issue. He's got to get his hand control back.
If Volkov is able to separate here, if he can break the grip and get out into the open, he's got to let his hands go, because if he hesitates again, this is what Curtis is just going to do time and time again. This is even worse for Volkov now because they're away from the fence. In the early days of MMA, they wanted you against the fence because, you know, they punish you up against the fence. But these days, you use that to stand up. Now for Volkov, getting back to his feet, unless he's got some really nice sweeps, it's going to be a lot harder.
7 takedowns and counting for Curtis Blaydes. His career best in the UFC is 10.
He's gonna fight for it. That's where the elbows start. He's gonna fight for it, and that's where he starts. No can opener. Watch his hips. You follow his hips.
Volkov trying to control posture here.
Yep, in the hand position. I need that other hand off the floor, Bubba. Let's go. Come on, get that other hand off the floor. There we go. There we go.
Volkov is savvy on the ground, though. I mean, I mentioned that fight with Verdum again. Obviously, Verdum, one of the best heavyweights in the world at jiu-jitsu. And, you know, he was able to get back to his feet. He was able to defend submissions. You know, and it looks like, you know, potential for an armbar there because Curtis keeps leaving that right arm outstretched. But he's got to be aware of that.
Volkov, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, has a lot of good chokes in his arsenal. And some special ones that he referenced with us on Thursday, but the opportunities for him in this fight thus far have been few and far between.
Right now, Volkov it would do really good for him to start getting his legs into this equation from the bottom, put him on the hips of Blaydes, maybe try to off-balance him with some butterfly hooks, something. But right now with Volkov on the outside of Curtis Blaydes' arms, while Curtis Blaydes has the inside position here, he's allowed to keep elbowing him, control the position, and the clock could just burn here, and Blaydes is using no energy whatsoever.
He's also not offering much offense, though, either. He's got to be careful because Herb might stand them up. I mean, he's got a great position. This is where he wants him. But as we know, you have to work in this position. And, you know, he's winning. He's on top, but he's not particularly busy.
His hands are on the mat, so that's one thing. Now he got the hands off the mat. Now he might be able to get to work. But when you put your hands on the mat, it allows Volkov to get those overhooks, and it limits his movement.
Hands on his chest. Both hands. Both hands. I need you to win this hand position.
Oh, there we go.
That'll buy him some more time.
That'll wake Volkov up as well, or put you to sleep, one or the other. Oh,
goodness.
And again.
And we saw this on Overeem.
Yep.
When we saw Blaydes land those elbows on Overeem, it was scary. And he's looking to do the same thing here.
Trying to elbow guys' heads through the canvas. Less than a minute here to go in round 2. It has been all Curtis Blaydes thus far. Ground control time, almost 8 minutes. You see Volkov getting on a hip here, but that guard is closed, Dom.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to put the feet on the hips here. Right now, you're not threatening any submissions. You're not off-balancing. You're not working inside position. You're not working hand control. You're pretty much just making sure Blaydes doesn't knock you out on the floor. There we go. Now he's trying to get his legs involved, but Blaydes
there we go.
Volkov right to his feet, immediately lands the body kick.
He should have done that 3 minutes ago, though.
Right. Another late shot in the round from Blaydes.
Oh, down he goes.
No surprise, he lands it. Round 3 next.
Have a seat. Hey. Good job. Good job. The high-lows and the feints are money. He's going to start coming out a little aggressive here, but I want you to start conserving a little bit of energy, okay? Hard feints. You get on top, let's make posture and make them top. You want some water? Some water? No? Okay. Hey, this looks good. Feints and the shakes, You can beat him.
The mask over your
All right,
nose.
back live in Vegas. Dom, if you like offensive wrestling and MMA, this is the fight for you.
Right here, you see the jab to set it up, a low kick. And, you know, when you start throwing those strikes, you get the man thinking about what's coming next. Nice right hand by Blaydes. And right here, a right hand straight to a power double off the jab. Finishes, pulls the leg right through, runs his feet, doesn't fall to the floor before his opponent. Perfect execution on the double leg.
All right, round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
Fight.
Yeah, so Volkov, you know, he's going to make some changes. You see his lower base there. That's what I was going to say. He's going to lower his base. He's going to be busier with that jab. Try and catch Curtis on the way in. Throw a right hand behind it. Pump a 1-2. If he can manage to put Curtis on the back foot, he's going to have more success. Of course, easier said than done. He's a big guy. And there, almost. He's doing the right thing. He's got to use that underhook with the left arm and really pump it up. And then try and underhook with the right arm as well. And if you're Volkov right now, you're thinking, man, I don't believe this. We're 40 seconds into the 3rd round, and I'm right back in this position.
Square on the fence.
There it is.
Blaydes is good with backing out and start. He looks like he's very comfortable on his feet, though. And he looks like he wants to just strike right now. He's not even trying to force the grappling too much yet.
The thing is, we're in the 3rd round now. And of course, Curtis is a very good athlete. He trains at elevation as well, so he's got a great gas tank on him. But he is slowing down a little bit, and Volkov is having success at defending the takedowns more here. And this is great work for Volkov. He's managed to turn him now. Now he's going to try and disengage. Watch those knees in close.
Nice jab. I mean, nice jab. And you see Volkov just crumble because he doesn't want to get his butt pulled out and slammed to the floor. So he just crumbles and tries to restart from scratch. But look at his knees turned out. He's square on the fence. Blaydes is tight. He's not in any danger. And when you can take somebody down as much as Blaydes has, you're just confident in the rest of your game from there.
And his corner, Volkov's corner, seemed pretty frustrated. They felt like maybe there was an opportunity to get his back off of the fence, and he was unable to do so. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in round 3 of a possible 5. So the heavyweight record for takedowns in a fight, 11 by Cain Velasquez against Junior Dos Santos back at UFC 155. 9 for Blaydes thus far, and certainly plenty of time with which to work.
Blaydes would do good to come up top to the head of Volkov here, maybe threaten a guillotine and just keep crushing him. Staying on the legs here is good. You're going to hold Volkov down, but there's not a lot of threat of that finish with your head down at the hips of Volkov here.
That's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and get up. He's going to try and get on those knees and then force his way up. But Curtis knows what he's doing. He's turning the angle, going to the side. I mean, the one thing that Volkov is doing well is he's still not flat on his back. He's still able to fight this. Maybe pin on your left hand now, because he's got the whizzer. He's got the overhook with the right hand. Pin the left hand and try and stand up. But with a big man like Curtis that can wrestle so well, it's not always that easy.
Keep that head position and get to work with your right.
Well, right after tonight's main event, don't miss a recap of all the action on the UFC post show on ESPN+. Heidi, Dom, Michael, and I will break it all down right after this main event. It is only on ESPN+.
I mean, how many times have we really seen a fighter like Khabib in his weight class be in this exact position, hammering people up against the fence? This is just a wrestling technique right here, where you hook that ankle, and if they can't get that leg out, it's a problem. Now he's behind him, cutting in between him and the fence. So now Volkov can't use the fence to get up. He's got the hand control, making him carry his weight. I mean, it's picture perfect, high-level positional wrestling here. Now maybe start attacking with the right arm, start hammering Volkov up against the fence to really get some damage in there. I think he can get the finish. If he can get Volkov this tired, he can get the finish. He's just got to find the position for it.
Well, Volkov needs to keep hold of that underhook like his life depends on it. And now he's pushing down on the head, though, and abandoning that position.
First thing he's got to do is get that right leg out from underneath.
Yeah, it's impossible to stand up with that leg there.
It's work.
Now, here we go. I mean, 45 seconds left. Oh, he's trying. He's trying for a guillotine. I mean, why not?
Yep, stay on top of his legs. Good. Now, you come up first. If we're getting up,
This is just so frustrating for Volkov, though. I mean, he wants to fight. He wants to get back to his feet. He wants to throw the strikes. And it's so just disheartening, you know. I mean, Curtis is fighting his fight. He's doing what he needs to do to win this fight. All right, Volkov, what you got for 15 seconds?
Right.
That right knee.
I think a high kick.
Right, got to start mixing in those high
Got to
kicks.
start throwing in something explosive.
Yes.
He's going to go for broke because he's clearly 3 rounds down. You know, and so now it's, you know, it's a case of just go for it.
All Curtis Blaydes through 15 minutes.
we can just start touching with the boxing right now. Right?
Hey, have a seat. Big deep breath. Big deep breath. I want you to, hey, we gotta slow the heart rate down. So do me a favor. All we need to think about right now is conditioning and staying sharp. I don't want you throwing big shots. I just want you to touch, till you see the shot. When the shot's available, you take it, but I want you to touch your way there, okay? No big shots.
Light punches. Just
Yeah.
really quick.
Slow the heart rate.
Light
Yeah.
punches.
There we go, there we go. Bring it down, bring it down.
We're trying to find some more traditional
Bring it
positions. I want you to get on your attack.
Hold on.
Now listen, I know he is.
Keep breathing, keep breathing.
Top-ranked boxing coming up later tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. WBO junior featherweight title holder Emmanuel Navarrete taking on Uriel Lopez. It's all your way later tonight as the combat sports action continues on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. All right, round 4 here, Volkov and Blaydes. We'll see if Alexander takes some risks here before we go back to the canvas.
Sorry, John. That's just so annoying for Volkov. I mean, this is where he's been the entire fight. The first kick in the first seconds of the 4th round and right back to square one. You know, I was going to say Volkov definitely has the conditioning because his workout room is next to my hotel room.
Yeah.
And last night at 10 o'clock at night, I'm trying to get to sleep, and all I'm going to hear is him crushing the pads with Russian hip-hop blaring.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know Russian hip-hop was a thing. It's pretty good, though. Some good beats.
Yes.
But Volkov was adding the soundtrack with the kicks for hours.
I had Oscar Pijota's workout room next to me. I was almost knocking on that door last night.
Oh, yeah, I walked out. I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. He's fighting.
Nice job for Volkov getting back up, but Blaydes has now tied the UFC heavyweight record for takedowns in a fight, 11 of 16 thus far.
Yeah, this is nice for Volkov. That's great work. I mean, that sends a big message. There's still 2 rounds left. He was able to get back up. He was able to separate the grip, and he's able to start throwing some shots. Oh, but look at that. I mean, great work by Curtis. Fantastic work. Isn't over yet.
The striker Michael Bisping every time the wrestler shoots.
I'm not biased. I got no horse in the, no money on this, of course. But yeah, I just feel his pain. I've been there many times.
Nice job by Volkov. He's finally starting to get ahead on a couple of these takedowns and maybe stuff a few, but now you got Blaydes ready to fire the hands too. So yes, this is where Volkov needs to start attacking the body of
Curtis is looking a little wobbly, a little shaky, but that said, still got the presence of mind to get the takedown when he needs it.
But Volkov certainly hasn't mentally checked out. He has stayed in this fight, still 8 minutes to go.
Still there, still fighting, still doing what he needs to do. Spending too much time on his back, but that's not his choice.
12 takedowns now for Curtis Blaydes. That is a UFC heavyweight record. He's got 57 now in his UFC career.
And that's just a testament also to how good his cardio is, because even though, I mean, they're not all getting stuffed, which makes it a little less cardio, when you're finishing them, you kind of get some air back. When the man stuffs your takedown and over and over and over, you get more tired trying to shoot. So the reason why Blaydes can continue to land these takedowns too is because he keeps being successful in them. Volkov has only stuffed a few of them. So it's hard to get tired when you keep getting these positions that Blaydes in, where you can just kind of sit for a second, throw some elbows, and not use too much energy.
You need to work or I'll stand it up.
Yeah, well said, Herb. To be honest, though, you know, Curtis is hanging out in that guard for so long, and he's not very active. He's got to be careful because those long legs of Volkov, he can throw up a triangle.
He is resting so that I think he has more juice for another takedown, though.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the thing. After this, if you don't have to work too much on the top, then you have a lot more energy to take the man back down, too. That's the problem with not having an active guard after you've been taken down. as you let the top man rest.
Blaydes, of course, trains at altitude and has since late in 2016. Much has been made of course, his UFC debut back in the day against Francis Ngannou. Told us I had a jab and a double leg, and now, of course, as you've seen tonight, he's got a whole lot more than that.
There you go. Volkov needs to start doing more of that. You can really slice someone up from underneath. You can still land elbows all day, push on the head, and then when they resist, slice the elbow into the face, open them wide up.
I mean, Volkov has the longest legs ever, and he just uses them to squeeze the man in. I would love to see him use those to off-balance the base of Blaydes. That might offer him some transitions from the bottom to at least get his hips out from underneath him, but he's not using his legs too much in this position in Volkov.
Come on, buddy. Pass that leg. Hands back on the chest.
Final minute of this fourth round.
Stop. Up.
All right, buddy, 1 minute.
All right, so Herb Dean had seen enough of that, stands the fighters up.
Yeah, well, Volkov's got 40 seconds. He can't waste any time. There's a good jab. There's a right hand.
Oh, nice knee.
That was close.
How about the cardio of Volkov? Nice knee again. He's in this fight. He is not. There's no quit in Volkov whatsoever, and he's still got a lot of energy in him. You can see it.
Nice. Round 5 is going to be very interesting.
Remember when you said he would never get a takedown? Let's see if he gets it, Bisping.
No! Come on, Volkov. Just good for him.
And it looks like Curtis Blaydes is now bleeding fairly profusely out of his mouth, so.
And it looks like he's exhausted.
Time.
All right, we will follow Curtis Blaydes back into the red corner here.
Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, we got 5 minutes. Take your mouthpiece out. Take your mouthpiece out.
Keep it over your nose. Come on.
Take a drink of water. Big deep breath. You got 5 fucking minutes. You hear me? You got 5 minutes.
He's going to try to steal this fight from you right now. This is championship. This is what
Slow down your breathing. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your breathing.
No more bars. Save it. Oh my God. What do? You step over his leg. It's a choice. You use your elbow. You push his leg down and step over it, right? Tell me.
5 minutes.
No more guard.
Look sharp here. Okay? Keep
Пятый раунд.
4.
Keep the levels down and start striking just like it was at the end.
Слышишь его?
Give me 5 minutes on your feet. 5 minutes on your feet.
Давай.
After this main event, don't miss a recap of all the action on the UFC post show on ESPN Plus. Heidi Androl, Dominic Cruz, Michael Bisping, and I will break it all down right after the main event and only on ESPN Plus. Well, you got to give Alexander Volkov credit, right? This is as tough a matchup for him as there is in this division, and he's hanging in there.
And that was a huge morale boost to be able to stop the takedown, to land some shots, and then actually take Curtis down at the end of the round. I mean, that says several things. It says he's still in the fight. It says that Curtis is tired. It also shows a shift in momentum. We see here, Curtis is backing up, but make no mistake, he's going to shoot when the time is right. Oh, nice uppercut.
We saw Derek Lewis rally big to stun Alexander Volkov and hand him his only UFC loss. Maybe Volkov can turn the tide on Blaydes tonight. We mentioned on the tail of the tape, Blaydes coming in heavier.
He timed it perfect. Walked right into it.
Things starting to get a little bit interesting, but the clock is an enemy of Volkov now. 4 minutes to go.
Just a little bit.
Pretty good entry there.
Very good. And nicely finished. And this is what Curtis needs. You know, he's on the feet. He's looking exhausted. If he can burn the clock here, keep him down for some significant amount of time, he's going to win a decision.
Cody Donovan calling for Blaydes to put his shoulder on the floor.
Let's work.
To try to further control Volkov on the ground. Under 3.5 now to go.
Hey, Herb Dean's not letting him rest down there, though. He said, hey, let's work. Come on. And Volkov trying to get back to his feet.
Blaydes doing the right thing, splitting Volkov in the fence so he can't use it, forcing open that wrestling.
Come up, come up.
Hand control is key here. He's got the hand. Now it's the only thing is Blaydes got all his weight on him and the crossbody right with the ankle. So he's across the body on the ankle. Now he's got to get that ankle out after he gets, now that he's got the hand control. Now he can start to work his way back. There it is. Hand control is everything for this.
Nice work, Curtis. That was beautiful.
Right back on the double.
Not quite. Those long legs of Volkov, they're really helping him now.
Volkov desperately fights for the underhooks and is able to reverse Blaydes up against the fence now.
And both guys are just exhausted. This is a dogfight.
Aesthetically, Volkov would appear to be the fresher fighter. Blaydes in on the legs again. Unofficially, 23 takedown attempts for Curtis Blaydes.
It's no wonder he's tired.
That is a ridiculous amount of takedowns.
24 now. 1 a minute.
And how about the cardio of Volkov to keep escaping 24 times and still trying to make this fight happen? Not quitting at all.
Circle! Circle!
Just doesn't have quite the answer here in these positions in Volkov. Needs a whizzer right there with his right arm over the top, reaching over the top here. Isn't always the best position, but he's trying to do damage while Blaydes rests. Oh, he's hoping the ref will stop it.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Look at the ref.
A+ for trying, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Nice takedown. Finishes it with
into the triangle, maybe. He's gonna get that right leg free.
Blaydes feels it.
If he can pull that right leg free, Volkov, there is almost a triangle. Not anymore.
Total strikes. You see Volkov in rounds 4 and 5. Cody Donovan really talking Curtis Blaydes through all of these things defensively, trying to make sure that Volkov doesn't pull a rabbit out of a hat here late.
Well, it will be
14 of 25 for the takedowns.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, listen, it's great when you can go out there and knock them out in the first round, but if you can't do that, listen, this is domination. Volkov had some, you know, some explosive, some exciting moments in rounds 4 and 5, but for the most part, it has been a shutout for Curtis Blaydes.
Dominant wrestling match from the top position for Curtis Blaydes most of the time, landing some good strikes to get there to set it up.
Well, Volkov certainly held tough over 25 minutes, but it was all Curtis Razor Blaydes tonight as he tries to extend his winning streak to 4. The official decision on the main event coming up next from the Apex. Well, another night of UFC action is in the books, but it doesn't have to stop here. Head to UFCFightPass.com once we wrap to watch the full first season of Fight Lore, the best stories never told about your favorite UFC personalities. Fight Lore is only on UFC Fight Pass. All right, the judges' scorecards have now been tallied. One final time tonight. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges scored the contest 49-46, 48-47, and 48-46 for the winner by unanimous unanimous decision, Curtis Razor Blaydes.
So Curtis Blaydes has now won 8 of 9, 4 in a row. He gets it done in the main event.